got the sound effects there, right?
Never done this. But alas, we're back. And just to kick it off straight away, we've got the fantastic gang behind us, besides us, around us. We've got obviously a fantastic guest who needs no introduction. Big model. Seen her face all over the billboards and that. Lend me a fiver, aka
Lend me a
Misguided, you get me?
Okay.
Aka Sarah.
Hello.
You know, it's nice for you to come through.
Anytime.
We're very blessed to have you over here. You coming in drippy as well. You know, we appreciate that.
I mean, I came here for the compliment. Thank you.
No, it's happy. You know, we're happy with to be here still. You get me? We're getting some drip just by you being here, so I appreciate it. Residual drip still. So what we saying? We getting signed as well under your thing, yeah?
Listen, I'll chat to my manager. Like, y'all trying to be models.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get in the Fenty Plus size thing.
Yes. Chat to them, man. Let's speak about it.
Listen, you gotta speak that shit into existence.
That's what I'm saying.
Manifest it.
That's what I'm saying.
You already got the velour on.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Ready.
It's different.
100%.
ASOS.
There is.
Book me.
Juicy Joe, as they say.
Niggas, bro.
Oh yeah, you're next to it as well.
Juicy Joe, yes.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't
You're
even
not
feel
the
comfortable. They said
slut
that to me
walking
right
now.
now.
We're ready for it.
Huh?
Huh?
I don't know.
I took it too far.
But yeah, man, we're back, guys. It's another week of greatness. And today we have our guest appearance, as we said before. Yeah, just to go straight into it, give us some background story. What's the lifestyle of a model of your life? You know, what do you do? Let us know.
I basically got signed, but I was lucky. When people ask me, how do you do it? Like, when asked for advice, I'm like, I can recommend, like, I'll show my manager or like my agent. But I was like, I don't really know, because I was lucky. Like, I didn't have to do walk-ins. I didn't have to do all of that. I just got, like, I was at uni and got a message on Instagram from my agent and was like, come in. And I was like, and it was in Kentish Town, the office. I was like, I'll be back in London. When I'm back, I'll go. And luckily for me, I went there that day. They gave me the contract and signed me. So I was like, so I've always been lucky. But I did leave for a hot second. Like, I left that agency.
Okay.
And I was doing freelance. But it was just so long. Like, I understood the value of an agency. But then again, another agent messaged me on Instagram. So for me, I think it was all through social media, really.
Okay.
And I cannot complain. It's been good to me.
And what, did you drop out of uni? Did you continue doing the uni
Oh,
thing?
no. My mum and me drop out of uni. No way. Third year, it was like third year of uni. I got approached.
Okay, cool.
But for a whole year, because I was in Brighton and third year of uni, I didn't do anything until I didn't actually start. I was signed to them for 6 months, but didn't do any shoots until I came back.
Really?
And the shoots that I was doing for fashion students in Brighton, people who just met and would ask me.
Yeah.
But it was never for money. I was like, yeah, new Instagram pics. Why not? Let's go do it.
So you was always on the modelling thing from young, or?
No, I never thought I was going to be a model. No
Really?
way.
Why not?
Never. It was never. But there was not standards, but there was rules to be you had to tick boxes to be a model, like height.
The Eurocentric.
So it was someone like me would have never. Nowadays, everyone's a model. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And it's more broad,
especially because of social media and stuff.
Yeah, and you have to be representative, and if you're not, brands are gonna get cancelled, and you're gonna get added.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a blessing that something like that, because that's the category I fall into.
Yeah.
But a couple of years ago, I'm 5'6" and a bit, so I'm already short for a model.
Yeah.
You have to be 5'7", 5'8". So it was never a thing. And then when I went to uni, first time I was even in a shoot or someone took a photo of me. That wasn't me on a night out, the ones that your friends take.
Yeah.
So students, I used to go on nights out in Brighton, and then there's a fashion college, uni, part of the uni there. Yeah. And then they'd come up to me on nights out and be like, oh my God, can I use you for my photo shoot, blah, blah. Yes. Either I get free clothes. Yeah. One guy paid me in draw.
Oh, lit.
It was at uni. But imagine at uni, I'm free grams.
We love it.
Yeah, I was loving it. I'm cool. And I get...
You try to sign up for a queue. It's not happening, man. Think Cavari.
So for me, I'm plus. And I'm getting cool photos for Instagram.
Yeah.
So I'm it's calm. If I'm free, I'll come do it. And then that's the first few times I was ever taking photos.
Okay.
And then when I got signed, I wasn't even doing photo shoots for them. And even if you look in my the modeling book I have, most of those photos weren't even done with my agency. They're shoots that I've just done. I still do it now if I have time. I don't have as much free time because I am signed. But if it's a project that someone messages me and they're like, oh, this is what I want to do and it's a cool concept and I know I'm going to like the pics or it's for a good cause, I'll do it. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Because those are the pics and stuff, projects that blow up the most for me.
Yes. So it wasn't necessarily about the money. You already saw the
yeah, like for me, I was just
like
that. And then from those photos that I post on my Instagram, then like other business will be like, oh, can you promote this? Or we'll give you, so it's like, for me, it's just that fact that I can do it is a plus. And I'm signed to an agency, so they sort everything. All they send me literally is where I need to be. And like, if I'm going to Manchester, they'll send me the tickets. So like, they just tell me what to do and I go.
Yeah.
So
let's not take away your own hard work and being able
100%.
to see the opportunity and go for it. Because a lot of people do say, you know, they want to be models or they want to be X, Y, and Z, and they don't actually get themselves out of that far.
Oh, it's not as like it does. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm doing a shoot to my friend. I'm like, oh, I've got like, because you're traveling, you're shooting all day. Like more time, I don't even really sleep.
Yeah.
So it's like if I've got things back to back, and because I don't just model, like I am working as well.
Yeah.
So it's like always on 100, and then people go, oh, but you're just standing there and taking. I was like, it's not like when I do Pretty Little Thing. There's 57 outfits. That you've got to do, and like so it's literally you take the photos quickly, you strip, put another one on. And I've got I do headscarf shoots for them.
Yes.
So then I've got to wear headscarf, rip it off, and it's it's fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I don't know if I can swear.
No, it's all right, man. This is the people's
F and blend, fuck this. Yeah, all of that.
We good.
But yeah, so like now that I'm doing it more intensely, I'm like, nah, okay, it's worth the money. I get what you mean because I'm like to get paid like an X amount. Like say I'm getting paid 700 for a certain shoot. For me to do 1 day's of work and get 700, of course, is a blessing.
Yeah.
Like I cannot complain.
Yeah.
Because if my day-to-day job, I'd be getting £100 a day, and I'm working as maybe even harder, but different kind of hard.
Yeah.
Modeling is more physically exhausting, and if you're around shitty people, mentally and emotionally exhausting. It's harder than it looks.
I just wanted to, because you talked about like the difference between freelancing and dealing with the agency. So what's some benefits you found with doing freelance work?
Well, freelance, first of all, you get to keep 100% of the money.
Because
I forget the agency takes 20%.
Yeah.
So, well, more time, they take 20%. Some agencies might even take more, I don't know.
Yeah,
But 20%
don't do
is
that.
like the standard.
Don't
I'd
fall
say
for that hoe.
Yeah, so when people message me on Instagram, I'm like, for me, I was like, I would never, if they ask for more than 20%, something, unless they're giving you something somewhere else,
Yes.
you're getting a little bit shagged. Because most agencies, I've been signed to
Most I'm hearing is 15%, no?
Yeah, the 15% or 20%, it's gone up.
I see.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I see.
Everything
She's giving the little eyes up, so if you see a 20%, don't be too alarmed.
Yeah, 20% is fine, but if it's more than 20%, oh, something's dodgy there.
Okay.
But they deal with, so freelance, when I was doing freelance I had to do the invoices. You have to like chase them up, get all your info. Like basically you're your own manager, own accountant, own
You're
lawyer.
organising everything, yep.
And especially if you don't now, after I was signed to an agency, it was easier for me to do freelance because I knew where I should be getting paid, what I should be getting paid.
Because you already had the keys kind of.
So it's like, because I didn't realise they pay you for the shoot, right? But then they've got to pay you for distribution, depending on how they're going to use you.
Yeah, where your face is going to be.
Because I've lost jobs out before. I did, the body shop one I did was like 2-3 years ago. But then I went to a casting for another brand. And because the distribution for that was, it's a similar like skincare brand, was 2 years. And it only been like a year and a half. I couldn't, they're a competitor brand. I couldn't, like they really loved me, but then they found out that and they were like, we can't use you because that's, so you get paid more for distribution. So people, I didn't know that was a different sum. So people say yes to shoots thinking, oh, I'm getting paid 8 bills. But I'm like, they're using your face globally. That should be another $2,000.
Yep.
Because then you can't work for like other brands.
Yeah.
So I didn't know all of that at first. So me knowing that, I kind of like was able to be like, okay, like this is my daily rate kind of thing. This is how much so you can kind of like you know what to do.
Doing the freelancing thing sound like it was a blessing in disguise going back and forth.
Yeah, because I know where I'm being shagged and like, and I feel like when you've done it at first, you can't really say shit. You got to do everything that comes your way. Like I'm out of shoots, I'm 150 for a day. I'm like, let's go, let's do it. But like now it's like, you know, like if it's going to be, because if you're getting paid, what, £600, whatever, you know, if the same effort you have to put into that shoot and they're only paying you 100, especially if you haven't got as much time, then it's like, no, sorry.
You understand the game a bit better. Like,
and you can be a little bit more selfish with your time. Because at first, you really just got to get out there. So if you're doing free shoots,
or not,
But for me, it was just like, a lot of them were people that I met and friends and like people that I said yes to straight away. And I'm the kind of person, if I say yes, I don't want to cancel.
Yes.
I'm like, I've said yes now.
You're gonna pull through now.
I have to.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of, and I can't even lie, doing that plugged me to even bigger and better things.
Yes.
Because now luckily for me, I met the right people.
Yes.
Those people that were doing nothing really have like their own brands or are PR people.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff that I get sent from certain brands, for someone like, it's not like my Instagram's popping. It's not like I have thousands and thousands of followers. But it's like I've made friends with the right people by accident, not like purely because I'm like, he's plugged up, I'm going to make, which is most of the people in London right now.
Yeah,
creative scene.
speak about it, culture vultures.
Yeah, when they ask you what do you do? It's like, what can you do for me?
Basically,
Really
yeah,
what they're
it's a
saying.
little side eye.
Yeah, so it's like, and they won't chat to you unless you got something for them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, because when you were up with us and we would be going out and fucking,
yeah.
I'd just be like, oh, I don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, oh, either don't talk to me anymore, or I end up chatting shit to someone for ages. And then he's like, oh, I'm the PR at this place. I want to send you some shit. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I've ended up having a lot of really cool, like plugged up people on Instagram who are lovely to me. And it benefits me for some reason.
Yes, but you was consistent, so you showed them back the same kind of value
Yeah,
that
I'm
they're
like,
looking
literally,
for.
I was like, I will show you the same love you show me, regardless of
Yeah.
where you are. I don't care. I can see the vision. If this is what you're trying to do,
Yeah.
if it's pure, like hearted, I'm there to help. Like, I'm happy.
Yeah. I like the fact that every time, we did bump into each other, you was doing something like, you're not just there. It didn't seem like you was just there to just obviously turn up and stuff.
No, but it's
you
just-
made sure there's something you're networking for, something you're
But
connecting
it wasn't
the
even
dots
on
for.
purpose. Like,
Yeah.
I was just working on, this is how it's, came back from uni and I just started working on Brick Lane.
Yeah.
And then I met Dara through Selim, and I met loads of people and these became my party people.
Yes.
So I was like getting invited to events. I'm like, all right, cool, we're going to this. There's
Hey,
nights we
stay
went to like
connected,
6
yo.
events in
Stay
one night.
connected, yo.
And it was
Yeah.
just for me, I'm like, I just want to party.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and it's open bar, like music, you
Yeah.
get performance. We went to one event and okay, well, now it's a bit sticky.
Yeah, obviously,
But like Lil
at
Pump,
the time.
Octavian performed.
Yeah.
I didn't pay a penny to get in.
Yeah.
The bar was free. Like I paid for my travel is all I paid for.
Yeah.
So I was in my head, I'm like, these are fucking sick
Bag
moves.
talk. Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
and I just as soon as I'm a little bit waved, I'm like, yo, I just want to be friends with everyone.
Yeah.
And it just worked out for me.
Literally, your personality getting out there works.
And I'm like,
Character and consistency goes a long way, man.
Yes.
100%. And it's like, you got to talk to people because they're interesting
can't
or like you're
underlook that
enjoying the
stuff.
convo.
Yeah.
Some people just, I'm like, it's like watching paint dry. What is going on?
Yeah.
So I would just walk away and be like, oh, you enjoy your night. See you later. And find someone else who's going to actually.
Turn up with you.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like-
converse with you, share some
It's
sort of
like, I'm
value.
not sitting here to force convo with
Yeah,
you. Like, I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Like, it's just manners.
Mhm.
It's like someone's talking to you, talk back, or like you don't just sit there like, oh, I'm better than you, kind of thing. Oh, you don't do much, so
Yeah.
you're not worth my time.
You probably
Yeah.
have to do with a lot of that in the industry. I think obviously, a lot of people have status, and a lot of people have status, and that, so obviously they feel like, who are you to chat to me, innit? And
Yeah.
because
Oh my god, it
it
happened.
must be
Yeah.
long for you, like.
Yeah.
But it happened to me when I wasn't really doing. I was signed to my agency, but it wasn't like I've only recently over lockdown started getting these big shoots.
Yes.
But I wasn't even
More
doing
to
big
come, more
things
to
with that.
come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I wasn't doing anything, and people would just be so rude. And I've not got an attitude, but I'm like, well, who are you to talk to me like? My mom don't even talk to me like
Yeah,
that.
you got some self-worth.
So I'm like, what the hell? So
Yeah.
I'd like end up getting into arguments with like boys and stuff.
Yeah.
And more time it's the boys. The girls have always
Talk
like,
about it.
Yeah,
Talk about the
girls.
scene and mandem. Talk about the scene.
Seen and random, just think
Yeah.
they're just somebody, and they're like, you have 200 streams on your Spotify. What makes you think like you're Travis Scott? But
Man said you use auto-tune twice. Okay.
like, not
okay.
at anyone specific.
Yeah.
But,
Of course not. Just send the clip to them. But anyway,
just trying to tug someone's feelings.
Yeah, some fuck.
yeah, young disc still.
You might just get hella comments
Yeah,
for this
I
shit.
know.
Like, who the
Block,
fuck is this
block,
bitch?
block. Well, actually, you said something. You mentioned something interesting about the mental health thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what kind of tools or situations kind of made you realize that you need to kind of be a bit more sensitive to how your mind works and how your body kind of works in accordance to the modeling thing?
Well, I found out over lockdown. I did a lot of soul searching over lockdown.
Come on, blessing this, guys.
Trust, but I found out I've got ADHD.
Okay.
So which now makes sense. I'm like, a lot of my
Just
life
re-
makes sense.
this lockdown.
Literally, when I
Oh,
tell you
shit.
in like January,
Oh,
I
shit.
was like, something's going on in there, and
Okay.
like people have been saying. I told my mom, she was like, I knew. She was
Oh,
like, why are you telling me?
really?
She goes, my mom works with disabled kids as well.
Oh, okay. I was
But
about
like,
to
you
say,
know, when
okay.
everyone says it and
Yeah.
everyone just says, oh, you're just like, in Somali, it translates to like, oh, she's just fast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kind of like not in that sense,
Yeah.
but like just
Yeah, I know what
she's-
you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But
Brain
I
works
was
fast, I guess, yeah.
ADHD. Your brain goes like when
Yeah.
I'm talking to you now, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about 3 other things.
Yeah.
So it's like, and sometimes I'll start talking and forget what the hell I was gonna
Oh, I
say.
see.
But like, I was like, what is?
Right now, anyway, yeah.
And I'm like, what
you're
is
on
going
fire
on
right now,
with
yeah,
me?
yeah,
Much
yeah.
right now, I'm really
Got you.
cool.
So what? How have you kind of?
And
adjusted
like, I
towards
just well, like it made sense. Having well before that, I was just like, I'd have really times where I'm like on 100, and then I'd crash because I'd overexhaust myself.
Yes.
Or like I'd agree to every single shoot that everyone would message me, and it's like back to back, and I'd just like overdo it.
Yeah.
So it's like, especially well for me with ADHD, it's makes sense to me. So now I know how to work with it because I'm like, it wasn't just me being fast. Like I actually have something which I have to figure out how to control.
Yes.
Or like how to work with. You can't really control it.
Mm-hmm.
But for a lot of people, I'd just be like, don't overdo it. And don't feel like you owe anyone anything.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was like, I was very naive. I was 20 when I jumped into, 19 actually, when I jumped into
It's
the
always
scene.
quite young in the
So it's like when you're young as well, everyone's telling you shit and you're taking it all in.
Literally.
So like, I just let too many people. And I was always like, I'm not even influenced
Good
like
and
that.
bad influences, yeah. it's
But
crazy.
I was highly influenced.
Yeah.
Some of the shit I look back now, I'm like, wow, like what
Yeah,
made you
why'd
do
I do
that?
that? Yeah,
I'm like, because
yeah.
one person said that, you did
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
And it's like when you're, unless you need to be surrounded by good people first of all, but that's hard to avoid when you go into the scene.
Yeah.
So I was like, if you're gonna go into the scene, go in with your people.
Yes.
Because the people that kept me grounded, and the reason I didn't like go crazy and fall off,
Yeah.
because I'd call my best friend. She was at uni at the same.
She'll
Well,
tell you some real shit.
yeah, she'd be like, "Bitch, what's wrong with you?" She'd go,
Yeah.
"I ain't your friend." And she'd be
Yeah.
like, "What the hell?" Because I'd be
Yeah.
like, "These are my friends," and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not really your friends.
Thank you. She's saying stuff. Go on,
But like
go
in
on,
my
go on.
head, I'm like, because I would do the most for them. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'd expect them
literally.
to do it for me. So
Yeah.
I'm like, we're friends. Like
Yeah.
they're belling me. We're
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
She'd be like, they're not your friends. She goes,
Yeah.
would I ever do that to you? And I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
And then like she was like, they're not your friends.
Yeah.
Be careful, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I luckily had good people. Even people that I met in the scene,
Mm-hmm.
I just was lucky to meet the good people in the scene as well. And they were kind of like, be careful of this. Like you need to know this. So I just be careful who you're fucking with.
Yeah,
is what
yeah.
I'm
And
gonna
obviously
say.
take things slow in your time, I guess.
And
Slow
make sure it's
things down.
business as
Yeah,
well. Like
yeah.
it's like I know if I go to these events, unless like I'm friendly with them or I know
Yes.
of them,
Otherwise,
it's business.
Yeah, word.
It
It's
really
got to be
is.
something transactional. Otherwise,
Because
they're
a lot of them, that's
finessing you
how
some
they're
way.
thinking about it. So I was
Literally.
like, at first I was like, no, but I'm here just to,
Yeah,
there's no
show
business
love
for
or
me
something.
here.
Yeah,
Just good vibes, have fun, and make some friends.
But they're making money off your head. So
Yeah, so it's like, be careful. If you're going to go there, you can tell when someone's being genuine more time as well. And if it feels off, if you see a red flag,
Yeah.
run the opposite way.
trust intuition.
Me, I'd be like, nah, it's an orange flag. Nah,
Oh,
it's not a red.
yeah,
It's
it's a
maroon.
pinkish.
Yeah. But it's like,
Got you.
bitch, that shit
Yeah.
is blood red. Run the opposite way.
Yeah.
So
Adios.
now I see red flags, I'm like, I see you. Say less. But it's like, you ain't even got a comment before. Someone would say something, I'd comment on it, I'd be like, why the fuck would you say that?
Yeah.
But now it's like, just take mental notes. I'm
Yeah.
like, I see you. I see what you're on. Staying away from you.
Good vibes. Good vibes. Listen, if you're not listening to what Sarah's saying, there's no help for you anyway. man, so.
This stuff can be applied to
Fucking
just
hell.
life.
Literally,
life,
man.
Just generally in the creative scene,
Yeah.
because it's all the same when you
Pretty
get in
much,
there. Yeah.
There's
You're
all
dealing
gonna
with
be
the same
culture
people.
vultures. There are gonna be people that only want to deal with you for interest only.
Yeah, facts.
But
Let
it's
me-
good now because
yeah.
people are getting called out.
Nice.
There's good and
Yeah,
benefits.
social media is a
Well, it's good and bad, that thing, because people are being called out for the wrong reasons as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
People
for
want to
sure.
run and say
Over
something.
cancel, whatever.
Yeah, and it's like, you can't, not everyone needs to be cancelled. But it is really good that like abusers and like people who need to be cancelled
Yes,
are
they
like,
gotta
there's
go
no
now.
chill.
Facts.
Yeah, because there's
Facts.
spaces that are like this, studio spaces and things like that, where there might not be as much visibility.
And the
You
crazy
may
is
be a
it's
bit
very
vulnerable.
saturated as well.
Yeah.
It's like you're one of like you're not one of a kind unless
Yeah.
you're like very like obviously there's certain people, but they've made it anyways. They're
Yeah.
big beyond beyond that. But like the
established,
little
yeah.
creative scene where everyone's trying to make it and everyone's
You're
in
not
like middle
untouchable.
stage. You're not untouchable.
Yeah.
Someone else can replace you.
Yeah.
Someone younger and faster than you.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like I
Do it
know
for less or
modeling is
something.
not for the rest
Yeah.
of my life.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm enjoying it while I can,
Yeah.
and when it fades, it fades.
Fantastic. That brings
But-
me on to the next thing. So what are you talking? What are we talking in future? What are we aspiring to?
Well,
Future now time out. What are you saying,
Can I get
Sarah
that
for
money?
president?
Oh my god!
Uh.
You know when I saw the whole mayor thing with
Yeah.
Nico and stuff,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I do it, but I was born in Sweden. I can't even fucking vote.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
I don't know how that would work.
The East African to Sweden pipeline is crazy.
I was in
stuff.
Sweden not long ago. I was in Sweden like 2 months ago.
Okay. How was it?
It was got rinsed coming back into the country though. Bare money went out my account.
Really? Oh,
Because you have to pay £200 when you
for
come
the
back.
COVID test,
And then I missed my flight as well.
No.
My dumb ass. I was just in the clouds. It was my fault though. I can't lie. Yeah. My cousin was like, it's only 20 minutes away. You won't miss it. And I'm just like, okay, say
Too much
less.
vibes.
So much I missed my flight.
Yeah. And then I get there and then, but I didn't even miss it. I was there an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But racism is very big in Sweden. Like
Really?
people think Sweden, like, oh, very nice, clean water, all of the racism is huge there.
There's a lot of crackheads too, but yeah, racism.
Yeah. Have you been to Sweden?
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
man, where'd you go?
Fuck. Don't do this to me.
That's all right. There's
yeah,
better places.
You know the ones. Yeah,
Nah.
you know the ones. Huh?
Was that 2
Malmo?
years ago?
Yeah, like 2-3 years ago or something.
Oh, okay, it was a minute ago. Yeah,
I
that's
can't
calm.
remember no more,
But yeah, it's mad. I forgot the question. This is ADHD.
so. Aspiration, no, that's okay. Aspirations, what we looking for?
So when I went to Sweden, I've been thinking about this for the last like 2-3 years. So like my own brand in a sense.
Nice.
But it was mainly to do like charity. So setting up, because Somalia is a very fucked country, if I'm honest. Like we're killing our own people. Like there's like even female mutilation, all of that mad stuff is still going on, but it doesn't really get the media because it's been happening. It's nothing new. So I kind of want to just like help my people out in a sense, but use my London platform because I know a lot of Somali people are killing the game now. So I'm like,
100%.
use those people and
As a
that
collective?
yeah.
Or- okay,
so I'm
cool.
like, well, not it'd be just one brand, but just like it's kind of like charity work. So whether it's like making clothes and then giving a percentage of those portions to charity. So I'm gonna do a lot of creative things, like whether it's videos, like charity work, like highlighting like Somali businesses. It's gonna be like a social media platform.
We love that.
But the money that I do from like when I do events or like clothing, so I'm still doing the creative stuff I love, but it's going to charity. So it's gonna be. But I need. So I've just been trying to plug up and sort out the business side of it before I let it all out. So when I went to Sweden as well, because my cousin's a music artist, which I knew, but I didn't realize how big he was. He's literally one of the biggest rappers in Sweden.
Gee.
I was like, you know when people tell you they're making music, you're like,
Back
yeah.
talk.
Like I've been knowing this nigga was making music, but when I went there, like he's literally one of the biggest rappers. Like he's got, I mean, he's in pen right now, but
Free him.
yeah,
Free
I
him
mean,
up.
Free him up.
Whatever he didn't do it. Unless he did it.
He didn't do it.
But yeah, so I met a lot of Somali people there who do like work for like the government or like charity work. So I was just like, it's gonna be and my cousins who basically do so much creative stuff in Sweden. So it's gonna be like, and there's so many Somali people in in Scandinavia in general, but in Sweden, there's a lot of a big Somali community. So I'm basically, it's gonna be England / Stockholm, Sweden.
Stockholm, that's
Yeah,
what
is that what you meant? That's
thank
the
you.
capital. How
Thank
did you not know?
I know. I was like, oh, fuck's sake.
No.
Communities.
Yeah, and it's all gonna be going back
Diaspora
to the motherland.
kids,
That's
yes.
But it's like I'm
You
using.
gotta link up and fuck it up, man.
That's the way to
100%.
do
Yeah,
it. Though. That's
yeah.
the way to do it.
So it's like take the money that I make here
Yeah.
from the people
And the
who've got
experience,
money.
obviously, fashion.
Yeah, and then take it to Somalia
Yeah.
because it's like they lack in a lot of places.
100%.
So like even like hospital equipment
Yeah.
and like just basics like technology like landlines. I'm like,
Yeah.
if we can just instead of giving, and I want to make sure I go there. So it's not just because the money can get what you
Yeah.
give money to charity, you don't even know where it goes half the time.
Thanks.
100.
Right.
So I'm gonna make sure we go. We're gonna once we get the money, we go there, and then we
see
like
the work.
and we
Yeah.
actually physically. And I will be like obviously doing video projects, which I then release on Instagram so
Whoop,
people can
whoop,
see.
whoop, whoop. She
where the
talking
money's
about
going.
content, boy.
Yeah, literally.
She talking about content,
Head
boy. Put your head
And
up.
in that situation, everyone eats.
Literally.
You eat. The people you're trying to help eat.
There's
People
visibility
that
on the
jump eat.
situation.
Like, there's, like, everyone
And it's
can
not.
eat from
It's
it.
gonna start Somali because I
Yeah,
gotta
of course,
start
of course.
with like what I know.
Yes,
Yeah,
and your
Otherwise,
people, of course.
I gotta start with what I know, and then I'm gonna do obviously collaborations. There's a
Yeah.
lot of madness going on in India.
Yeah.
My best friend's Indian, and she's got her own little business started. So I'm
Nice.
like, I'm gonna do one thing. I was like, you gotta give me
Yes.
a year or two though. Once I've done
Yes,
Somalia
let me
project.
load, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'll come to like all the countries. I mean, a lot of our countries would, especially, you know, I don't know if you have it. Like my mom gets siblings or like relatives call her from Somalia just because we're in the UK.
Oh, yes,
they
send
think-
money.
Send
got
like
peas.
you're
You
made
got
of money.
peas,
And it's
yeah.
like no. So
Yeah.
I'm like, our people here are struggling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I can just get the people who are making things and
Yeah.
doing things
No.
and get money from like whatever, just build that up and make it here. and then just take the money to Somalia and make sure it's getting used properly.
Well,
That's
just so you know, the Urban Era family is definitely in support of that.
I love that.
That's some good stuff.
When people talk about for the culture, that's for the
Literally, quite literally. Yeah.
That's why I love that saying when you said it earlier, but I was like, it's just used.
Yeah,
It's
some
used in the
people,
wrong way.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
fact.
doing it for the
Obvious.
culture now. You're doing it for your
Fact.
pockets.
Yeah,
You
basically.
can't be saying you're for the culture and you're not giving back to your community.
Yeah,
That makes
where
sense.
is your evidence? We need receipts. We need receipts.
And the thing is, I feel like that's the blueprint anyway.
Yeah,
Because look how fucked it is here.
100.
Because we're afforded the opportunity. Like a lot of us are first generation who were born here, innit? So like, we're afforded the
That's
opportunity
wicked, isn't it?
to learn stuff, and then if we make it blow whatever, we can all do the same stuff.
And I'm just seeing
Try
some,
and
yeah.
go back home and try and make shit better.
Africa's an expansive place as well. So
And so
it's
if
not
you
like,
just see the
lucrative.
stuff that's what made me
Yeah.
realize was the stuff that was going on here. Like even I did post something about it on my Instagram, but like in Paris, I think it was like the whole headscarf banning thing. And it's
Oh,
like,
shit,
yeah, I
yes.
saw that. Yeah,
and I would
So
be like, I want to move to
Islamophobic.
Paris for a year. I want to move here. And I'm like, why am I loving off these countries
Yeah.
who blatantly hate us
Yeah.
and hate everything we're about,
They're
but then make
saying it
money off
out
our
loud.
culture?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't
so
rate us.
So I'm just like, why am I so like in it for so long? Not
Yeah.
like I was consciously doing it. I was like begging these countries,
Yeah.
begging off this culture
Yeah.
that's not even mine, and they don't even want me in
exactly.
That's a deeper issue that a lot of us face as well.
it. So I'm like, they don't even half the time they don't want unless they're making money off us, and
Yeah.
it's like you're a big
being
level.
You're fitting the economy for that.
Yeah, so it's like, and you can be
shit.
that representative person. Like part time, I know when I do half these shoots,
Yeah.
it's because I'm that one tick
Representation.
box. They can just like,
yeah.
we can
I was
go.
gonna ask you about that actually.
I know half the time, and I know it's happening, but I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, I need the
You gotta
money.
be the face as well. Sometimes you gotta be the trailblazer.
And like you said, you got bigger plans outside of
Yeah.
what
It's
so
literally,
it's
I'm
it
like, this
fits
is just
into it.
funding
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
doing,
yeah.
and I'm like,
You can use them as much as they.
100%.
Exactly.
At first, I felt so guilty. Even like doing the headscarf. So the first ever headscarf shoot I did was Pretty Little Thing
Yeah.
over lockdown.
Yeah.
But as you can see, I don't wear a headscarf.
Yeah.
But I used to wear a headscarf until like secondary school, until I went to like college, and I was like, I don't even practice. Why am I like?
Yeah.
So I just
You thought it would be more integral to take
yeah,
it
because
off.
I was like, what I'm doing, the stuff that I get up to at the time,
Yeah.
I'm trying to do better. But at the time, I was like, I'm doing fuckery, I'm doing
Yeah.
all this,
Yeah.
and I'm wearing a headscarf. Like, make that make sense. So I was like, I'm not even practicing. So I just decided it wasn't for me. I didn't wear it. But when they messaged me to do Pretty Little Thing, I was like, all my shoots I did before was like, there was never a headscarf one. They must have seen the one picture on my Instagram where Eid photo, I posted a headscarf. So at first I was like, because I have so many Somali like model girls, like hijabis, and so many like even prettier than me, like banging girls on Instagram. And I'm like, why would they choose me to do a headscarf one? I felt so guilty when I'm like, I could have recommended 10 other girls.
Yeah.
And because I don't wear the headscarf, I was like, I don't want people atting me. Like I've had people atting me, and I'm just like, I don't want this. But then
There's a lot of thought process that goes behind it. Even
and
though
because I
you
don't want to
really
take someone else's space,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not. But then again, like my friend again who like reminded me, she was like,
it's given to you
hello,
for a reason.
like you are Muslim,
You have the-
your
yeah,
family are
yeah.
Muslim, you
Tick,
wore a
tick,
headscarf.
tick.
She was like, you're not taking
Don't
anyone
let these
else's
other
space.
pressures fuck
Yeah,
things
so
up,
I was
man.
like, you're right, I need the money too. So
Yeah. Don't
if
feel
it ain't
guilty
me, it's
over
gonna
that.
be someone else.
Exactly.
At least I'm Muslim and
Yep.
I did wear a headscarf.
Yep,
Why
and
not?
you're planning to use it for something else anyway.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna do it. And I'd rather when companies message me and be like, can you do it with a headscarf? I'm like,
Yeah.
I love it.
100%.
I'm like,
Yeah.
please, yes.
I'll represent my people.
Yeah, 100%.
It's good that you think that way because obviously as you get bigger, you're gonna be representing and be inspiration to a lot of girls coming up trying to model and seeing that representation. It's good to like. Do you feel pressure with that, or have you embraced it?
At first, I was a bit like, oh my God, I need to do, like when girls would message me and be like, oh, like hijabi girls, I'd be like doing the most. I'd be like, oh my God, I need to reply to all of them. Be like, go here, try
It's
this
that
agency.
subconscious guilt,
Because I was like,
innit?
let me help them as
Yeah,
much as I
yeah,
can.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
like, sometimes it's like, if someone, who am I can't tell anyone. I'm not an agent. Like, I'm not a client that's going to book you. But sometimes if some people do ask me and I don't know how this is not going to sound. I'm trying to think of a way it's not going to sound mad. But someone asks me if they like, oh, do you reckon I could be a model? And I say it straight away. I'm like, if I don't think they look
I
like
see,
a model.
yeah.
So I'm like, I was like, it's not for everyone kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you can make money off it and you
Go
can
for
find
it.
yourself where you can market yourself, do your thing.
Yeah.
But I personally can give you like one-to-one advice.
Yeah.
But I love it when girls message me or like send me like, because I do get hate on Insta,
Yeah.
but the love overweighs the
yeah.
hate. So I don't care
I'm
about the
glad
hate.
you have that view as well, because otherwise it'd turn you mad. The way
And it's like,
social
I think
media
it's the
is.
older you get though. I'm 24 now and I'm only getting all this stuff now.
Yeah.
So at this point, I already know who I am and I
Yeah.
know myself.
Yeah.
But if I was getting this at 18,
Very
I
early in
could
the
not
game
tell
as well.
you.
Yeah.
Like sometimes some of these, like I have this gay friend and
Yeah.
he's doing bits. Like he does styling and he's just doing his thing.
Hold tight
And
the LGBTQ plus.
honestly, and the hate he gets, and like I can see him, but he goes reading the comments.
Yeah.
He's reading, and I'm just
Is
like,
he black or person of color?
he's mixed. He's
Okay,
mixed
cool,
race.
cool.
So I'm just like, and I see it, and I can see it physically like affecting him, and I'm like, I don't know what to say to you except
Yeah.
for ignore it.
Yeah.
And because you can't, I'm like, you're not fully secure yet. You're still young.
Yeah.
Facts.
So you're gonna let this shit. Even me, like the one comment that I got one time, it was like my septum piercing. I literally
Yeah.
decided to scroll on Body Shop's Instagram and look
Yeah.
through the comments to see what people
Oh,
were saying.
God.
Like I was actually searching for
Yeah,
it. But when
yeah.
you just want to see what people are
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
you
of
can't
course,
help
of course,
it.
of course.
And someone must have said like, oh, they can't even clean her nose. She got bogies up there.
It's
And
not
I'm
a
just
bogey,
like-
it's a shining reflection.
That was me. I was like, actually, if you would know about piercings,
I'm
it's a septum piercing.
screaming.
But it's
Yeah.
like, you don't actually, it's more
Fuck 'em, man.
power
Yeah,
if
to
you
them,
just say it out loud
yeah.
and don't reply back.
yeah.
Like even I did a Palestine post.
Yeah.
The amount of shit I've
Free 'em,
gotten in
free
my,
Palestine, man.
honestly,
Free that. Yeah,
from
free
like, I have a lot of
Palestine.
Jewish friends as well,
Yeah.
and like all of this, and the amount of anti-Semitic
No.
stuff that
Yeah, I was
I've
about
gotten
to say,
sent
we're
in
not
my thing. And
anti-Semites.
I'm just like, I'm not, I know I'm not anti-Semitic, so it's not gonna affect me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like some of my closest friends are Jewish.
Yeah.
Not even that that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't say that really because it's
Yeah,
like
don't
when
sound
people
like
go,
Karen.
"Maybe I'm not racist. I've got a black
Yeah, hold
friend."
tight, Karen. But anyway.
But still, like I know I'm not anti-Semitic,
Yeah.
and what I posted had nothing to do with religion. It was
Yeah.
literally just like saying free Palestine,
Yeah.
praying for my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Like it was
You
just
see,
like
your
showing
bad
love.
vibes, yeah. Anytime you try to show love, anytime someone else shows love, it's like the first thing you're thinking is fuck that. Like, nah.
Nah.
Yeah, why are you showing love?
No,
for?
but yeah, oh my god, those people like that. I'm just like, you're just something about you, like who hurt you, like.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely something going on in their own lives that is.
But
is
now
the
I know
problem.
that. So now when I get it, I'm just like, I will say something to my friend out loud, but I'll just literally either block or just swipe and just delete it. Like I don't comment back. Like she still does. And I'm like, Dad, wait, people sit at home jobless, waiting for you to reply back. And they want just to have an argument with someone on the internet.
Facts. And I feel like a lot of people that get into the modeling game probably at first are seeking validation through the shoots that they get, the people telling them they're doing a good job.
You knew
So the
I
min-
was.
So the minute you see one bad comment, it's like, well, I'm not used to this, and you want to flip
It's almost
out and
like
how to deal
proof.
with it.
Proof
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
little thoughts you have in your head.
Especially when
you
you're
start
being
young.
judged on your looks, like
Yeah,
modeling
exactly.
and
Your
you're
job, yeah,
purely
literally,
your
judged.
job
They don't
is-
care if you've got 10 personality.
Yeah.
It's the way you look. So like, if you go to a shoot or like you're not getting all the other girls like, yes, amazing, and you're just there like. I used to leave shoots sometimes feeling shittier than I went. I'm like, fuck, I'm clapped. Like, what's going on? Like, I hate this here.
Yeah.
Because some of the girls there are like, but there's always going to be someone prettier than you.
Yes.
And now I'm like, you ain't got to be
It's a
that.
mental game.
Yeah, so it's like
Big
there's someone
mental
gonna be
game.
someone younger than you,
Yep.
someone prettier than you.
Yep.
So you just gotta learn that it's a business, and if you're there to make your money, make
Yeah.
your money and
Yeah.
keep it pushing.
Yeah.
It's
There
when
can only be one Sarah, one you.
yeah, just.
Yes.
I'm like, at the end of the
You're
day, I
there for a
know
reason.
Yeah.
I can carry a conversation. Can
Yeah.
that bitch over there though?
Yes, yes. You got
Like, 'cause her looks
tricks
are gonna
under your
fade.
yeah. You got tricks under your sleeve. You got a personality that counts and that.
So it's, I
yeah.
wish.
No, I mean you do. Obviously, you're here for a reason, isn't it?
Especially when
Thank
you
you.
start
Damn.
stuff like that young as well, and you're still trying to navigate like figuring out yourself and figuring out the world around you as well.
I'm lucky. I'm
it's just
so
like,
happy I
whoa.
did not start modeling young. Like I am very like at 19 I was a little bit young, but sometimes when you shoots and
mean,
there's
even that-
15, 16-year-olds and I'm like, wow.
Even at that age, 19, like you still haven't figured out.
Yeah, no, 100%. But
who
me,
you are, let alone
true.
where you're going in life, bro.
You're so lost. And even me, I'd be like, I don't actually, because modeling was never, it was just a fun thing on the side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd be sitting there, people like, you're doing your thing though, you're modeling. I'm like, no, but what am I actually
Yeah,
doing?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you just feel lost. And
Yeah.
because people keep validating that one shoot you did 3 years, I'm like, no, that's not it. Just because you're signed don't mean you're doing bits.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are signed
Yeah.
to, like, why I left my first agency. I signed them for a year, did like 2
Nothing.
shoots.
Yeah.
Like 2
Nothing to
shoots.
show
I'm-
for it,
And
basically.
they're taking money off you for no reason.
So it's just,
And-
yeah, so it's
and
like,
holding your rights and that.
so sometimes you can be like, it's like probably the same with like artists, music artists. You can be signed to a record label,
And not
but
do
don't
shit.
mean like
Yeah.
you're doing the like most. But people just think you're signed to Sony. It's gonna be you're
Yeah,
lit.
it's lit. Yeah,
You still got your advance money. That's gone already, bro.
Yeah,
Off the
and
first
bear in mind you gotta make them tracks back to them now because
Exactly.
you can't just spend their money and not give back
Yeah.
what they. So it's the same thing with modeling. It's just long.
You got 40 albums left, bro.
Literally, that's how people get fucked up as well. Sometimes if you don't, well, my cousin does freelance, so and she prefers it that way because she's just had a lot of fuckery with agencies. Sometimes just do your own thing, freelance, especially with the power of social media now. You don't actually need an agency. Like sometimes I get messages on Instagram. They're like, like my agency is in my bio, so I don't even know why they come to me. But they'll be like, and as soon as I tell them I'm signed, they're like, nah, we don't want signed models. But it's because they know they can pay you a little bit. Because they know an
Less,
agency
yeah.
can't, like, an agency will make sure you're patterned regardless. And that's the good thing about an agency. You've got a whole legal team,
Yep.
whole finance team.
Yep.
Like, you would
There's
never
that
get shagged.
layer of protection.
Yeah, like, especially if you don't know anything about the business side.
yeah.
So, like, you're protected. So sometimes a lot of places or clients will not sign, will look for unsigned, what's it called? Artists
and stuff. I mean,
so it's like
makes
you're better. So
Similar.
you can do it freelance. Just make
Similar.
sure you know the fact. Like if you're gonna go into it freelance, make sure you move like a manager. Because I was moving like one little model. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Oh,
Perfect.
okay, like just doing like I
Extra
don't.
shit,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
they need to do that for you.
Yeah.
facts.
I mean, drop us 3 gems while we're wrapping up. Drop us 3 gems. You've already dropped us more than 3, but just 3 in your life you feel like it's useful to people like yourself that also wanna,
I feel
follow
like
a similar path.
You know what you're doing generally in the creative scene. If you know what you want to do and you know what your setup or what your goal is, do not let anybody tell you that it's not. You need to do it this way.
Yeah.
Because everyone in the creative scene, especially the ones who aren't doing much, love telling
Big
other
talkers.
people how to do their thing.
Oh,
So it's like, what are you doing? You're telling me I need to drop
say
this
that.
mixtape tomorrow. Where's your mixtape, brother? So
When's
it's
the last
like,
time you went studio?
yeah, and
You know
they'd be
what I'm
like,
saying?
they've worked with this artist, they've worked. I'm like, okay, but where is,
Your
especially if someone who's in the scene and doing their thing is helping you,
Yeah.
that's different. They're like, kind of, what's it called? Like mentoring you. So that would be the perfect solution. If you can find a mentor or someone, like even when girls, I have one girl that just messages me stuff and questions, and I always reply because I'm like,
Lovely
I'll
stuff.
give you like the information, but I can't take
Do much after
responsibility.
that.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not at that point yet, but when I am, don't worry.
Yeah, see.
But so it's like
what you
know
can do,
what you're
yeah.
going and don't let
Okay.
people tell you shit
But
unless you're asking for advice.
Yeah.
But even then, stay strong in your vision because
and take it with a pinch of salt, because man's advice could be from his spirit and that. Man.
Yeah,
Something
a lot of
wrong.
people-
It could be a jaded position that
Yeah.
they're talking from.
people
Yeah.
come from it. Like I've this idea. Like I've only told. Okay, apart from whoever's gonna be listening. But now it's in this final stages, so it's fine. But like at first, I didn't tell no one. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my friend because she would ask what the hell I was writing down in this one little black book that I
Yeah.
carry with me
Yeah.
everywhere.
The book of secrets.
Yeah, it's literally just when an idea comes into my head, I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
So like she knew, and I didn't tell anyone because as soon as I told someone, he was like, "Oh, that don't sound. Why don't you?"
Oh,
And I'm
here we
like,
go.
"Oh my god, this is why I tried to keep it in here
That's-
because you'll get a lot of negativity from all ways."
yeah.
So it's like make
And it
sure you
might
know what
sway
you're
your
doing
decisions and stuff. So yeah.
and talk to people.
Yeah.
I talk to people. Even like I started going to shoots. I was like, "How much are you getting paid?"
Yeah.
That's how I first when I was getting freelance.
Yes. Confidence.
Like I was going
Just
to
say
shoots and I was
something,
finding
yeah.
out people getting like I was the only black girl there. There was 3 other white girls.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, I was probably doing more than I ended up doing another another season shoot
Mm-hmm.
as well. So I ended up doing more than them. Come to find out, they got paid more than me,
Mm.
and all of them got paid the same except for me. So I was a bit like. So like go and ask. Some people won't tell you, and I understand if people don't want to tell me their money.
Yep.
But more time, I ask and no one's ever said, nah, I don't want to say. Because then you're hiding. Then it's a bit like, But like more time, I just ask them like, oh, I'm getting paid this much. Or like me and the models will talk. Just make friends with the people in that scene.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to get like...
Connections
answers,
and
isn't it?
networking is everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Because now I know when I do my projects and stuff, there's about 10, 15 people I can hit up because I've done shit. Not that I'm bringing it back. I will never mention it. But I know I've done so much for
It's
you. Or like helped you
reciprocated.
just for like love. I hope they do. I hope you do the same for me.
Yeah.
So it's like, just do it from like, make sure you're clean hearted is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wow. What an episode.
Yeah, real shit, man.
All right.
Real shit. There was some
Well,
great
I
stuff.
really enjoyed
Some
it.
gems in there still.
Yes. Thank you for coming.
No,
no,
thank
thank
you
you
for
very
having
much,
me.
Sean.
Serious.
Thank you very
Yes,
much
you
for
give
coming
as well,
through.
man. It's
Serious.
valuable to people
Yeah,
to
this is
see.
replayable
Yeah,
stuff.
but-
Yeah.
You get me? So that was another episode of Urban Era. You get me?
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Sarah, for coming
Thank
through.
you
Part of
for
the
having
gang.
me.
You get me?
Part of the family now.
Part of the
you know what I'm
community
saying?
vibes
We're gonna be
now.
watching everything you're doing
Yeah.
now,
Oh,
man.
thank you.
Supporting you with
We'll be
everything
there.
you've got. If you need anything, let us know. Vice
Nah,
versa.
no, you guys got me.
Of course, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for coming.
Community vibes.
Thanks for
Don't
having
know.
me.
Gang.
Gang.
Gang shit.
Yeah.
Sign out.